Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The old clock above the town square struck 3, its chime swallowed by the tense silence of the crowd. In the center of the cobblestone plaza, flanked by the ancient oak of the commons and the modern glass of the new council building, stood 2 men. One was Alistair Finch, the town's long-serving, ruddy-cheeked mayor. The other was Leo, the young, fiery voice of the Greenwood Market Brigade. The GMB, as they were known, were the lifeblood of the town. They were the bakers, the potters, the farmers who filled the square every Saturday with the scent of fresh bread and the vibrant colors of seasonal produce. They loved their town, but today their love was a sharp, pointed thing. The issue was the Vale, a sleek, proposed structure of steel and glass meant to house a new tech startup. Mayor Finch saw it as progress, a future. Leo and the entire GMB saw it as a shadow that would fall across their market, disrupting the delicate ecosystem they had nurtured for generations. "It's not about stopping progress, Alistair." Leo's voice, clear and steady, carried across the square without need for a microphone. "It's about asking, what kind of progress? This isn't a collaboration, it's a colonization." Mayor Finch adjusted his tie, a flicker of impatience in his eyes. He had expected gratitude for bringing new business, not this insurrection. "Leo, you speak of shadows, but you're the one refusing to see the light. This company will bring jobs, revenue. The town's coffers aren't bottomless. We must adapt." "Adapt or be erased," a woman's voice called from the crowd. It was Alara, who ran the florist's stall. "You didn't consult us. You just presented this as a done deal." The mayor's response was a masterclass in condescension. He smiled, a thin, practiced stretch of his lips. "My dear, with all due respect, the complexities of municipal budgeting and long-term urban planning can't always be put to a public vote. Some decisions require a broader vision." The air went out of the square. "My dear." The phrase, dripping with patriarchal dismissal, was the spark. You could feel the collective intake of breath. This wasn't a disagreement anymore, it was an insult. He wasn't just dismissing their argument, he was dismissing them, their intelligence, their right to have a say in the fate of their own community. Leo didn't need to say a word. He simply looked at the mayor, then slowly turned his gaze to the faces in the crowd. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. He saw the hurt in Alara's eyes solidify into cold, hard resolve. Later that evening, the town's online forum, usually a place for lost pet notices and recipe swaps, exploded into a digital firestorm. The video of the clash, edited to a sharp 90 seconds, was everywhere. A post from the official GMB account, usually filled with pictures of heirloom tomatoes and hand-thrown pottery, was now a single stark declaration. The comments beneath it were a torrent of unified fury. "Alistair Finch has to go." It wasn't just a sentiment, it was a chorus. The post was shared hundreds of times. The local newspaper, the Cobbleshire Chronicle, which had previously been cautiously supportive of the Vale project, ran a front-page piece the next day titled, "A Clash of Visions, a Failure of Respect." The rage wasn't just about the building, it was about the "my dear." It was about being talked down to. It was about the realization that their mayor saw them as charming relics, obstacles to be managed on his path to a shinier, more sterile future. A week later, the market was more crowded than ever, but it wasn't a normal Saturday. There were no petitions being signed, no loud arguments. Instead, a quiet, powerful energy thrummed through the crowd. People shopped, they chatted, but their eyes kept drifting to the council building. They were waiting. At noon, the doors opened and the town council filed out to address the crowd as was tradition. Mayor Finch was with them, his smile less certain today. He cleared his throat, ready to deliver a prepared speech about compromise. But before he could speak, Leo stepped forward. He wasn't holding a megaphone or a placard. In his hands was a simple, woven basket filled with produce from every stall in the market. A deep purple eggplant, a bunch of vibrant carrots, a loaf of crusty bread, and a small pot of honey glowing in the sun. He walked towards the dais and placed the basket at the mayor's feet. "This is our vision, Alistair," Leo said, his voice quiet but carrying impossibly far. "It's not a blueprint. It's a community. It's alive. You can't manage it. You can only ever hope to be a part of it." He turned and walked back into the crowd, which parted for him and then closed ranks again. No one booed, no one chanted. The silence was more powerful than any noise. Mayor Finch looked down at the basket, a bounty he had never truly understood. He looked at the sea of faces, no longer angry, but settled, resolute. They weren't a mob to be quelled. They were a verdict that had already been reached. He knew, in that moment, standing before the beautiful, defiant offering, that he had already gone.